Let's talk about how to place an order. Let's get started. Let's talk about best practice. Our company asks you to provide the link or the consultant number for your customer to make the purchase themselves. And best practice is for us to be doing it with them, beside them, never for them. Always, always be sure to get the purchase order number immediately after the purchase. Have your customer send it to you, copy it, or take a screenshot, because that is going to really save the day if there have been any typos in emails or anything whatsoever. Let's get started. This is the Consultant Lounge, consultant.thermomix.ca. On your profile page is your consultant link. This is the link that you can provide to your customers. You can copy it and paste it, and it will take your customer directly to your eShop. It will say your consultant is, in my case, Valerie Lagana, and sign in. Of course, they will not sign in. They're there to buy Thermomix. If your customer doesn't use your link, forgets your link, can't find your link, this is what can happen. And you can let them know about this way to purchase as well. Once again, they're at shop.thermomix.ca. It simply says sign in. There is no consultant name, there's no consultant link. They're going to scroll down. What's going to happen is a box is going to pop up that says, have a consultant? Please type their name in here. And as soon as they type in the first name, the consultant number will appear beside it. And they can select the name with the consultant number, and they can select shop, and that order will be contributed to you. So there is another way as well for your customer to purchase with the order credited to you, and your name will still appear at the top and it will say sign in. So they can also do that instead of using a link. So they'll scroll down and they'll choose the bundle that they want to choose to buy a Thermomix. So right now, let's add a Thermomix to my cart. Now that I've added the Thermomix to my cart, let's go to the cart. This takes a minute. And I can scroll down. Now, if you have a coupon or a voucher for free shipping from one of our host rewards, you can put it there. You apply the coupon and you will get whatever the coupon is for applied to this order. But right now, I have the Thermomix TM6 there. Please make sure that you change the in-store pickup. If there is a free shipping voucher, it will say free shipping voucher. Calculating shipping is not going to work until you put in your address. So let's proceed to checkout. I'm going to put in the billing details for my customer. And at this point, I'm just going to use myself as the customer. You must put in all aspects of the address, the phone number, email, address, province, and postal code. And now the shipping can be calculated. And you can look over here, and this is where the tax is automatically calculated as soon as the billing address goes in. Now, if the shipping address is different than the billing address, please note here and go ahead and fill out that part of the form. Now you go ahead and put in the credit card number, the expiry date, the 3 digits, and you can choose our financial plan, Alipay, WeChat, or just simply your credit card as we've done. And you must always select, I've read and accepted the terms of use. Now, if your customer asks you about warranty, please scroll down to the very bottom of the page, and it's there. You should always know the warranty and just be able to answer the questions yourself. So now I'm going to place the order. I am really not placing the order here myself because I didn't put in the information. Before I place the order, I do tell every one of my customers that it is possible their banking institution may have some extra special security measures in place, and that they might have to phone to personally authorize a purchase over $2,000 online. I find that when the credit card is declined, even though the customer has money on the credit card, they are embarrassed. So to avoid that embarrassment, I say it's possible that your credit card company or your banking institution may decline this purchase simply because you need to personally authorize it. So then they're prepared for that happening. I place the order. If everything goes through, of course, there will be the little thinking circle, and then it will say order received, and there will be a big purchase order number. When that happens, best practice is to please record the purchase order number. If it says order declined or card declined, please have your customer simply turn over the back of their credit card, call the 1-800 number while you wait on the phone with them. You will be able to place the order as soon as the banking institution has authorized that purchase. It's always best practice for the customer to make their own order on their own device. I like to do it with them on the phone, so I walk them through the process on the phone as much as possible. Now that we have placed the order, immediately after placing that order and getting the purchase order number, the customer will receive an email with a receipt, and you will receive information in your back office, which we'll talk about in a couple of minutes. But here's some of the frequently asked questions with regard to how to place an order that we need to be aware of as consultants. We've talked a little bit about what happens if the credit card is declined. Have the customer call their bank to authorize the purchase. What if the order does not appear in your back office of the eShop? I'm going to show you what that looks like in a minute. But of course, please send an email to service@thermomix.ca, providing the purchase order number, the customer name, and the date it needs to be credited to you. Is there financing? There is now financing, yes, and it will be there. And I did show it to you when we went through the purchasing process just now. But I always let my customers know that the best interest you will always receive is from your personal bank. If you're comfortable with that, you can make regular payments and you'll always get a better interest rate from your own personal bank. Now, what if there is an error in the customer information? This is why it's very important to always get the purchase order number, because it's very easy to make a typo with an email or a name or an address or anything. And as long as you have the purchase order number and some of the contact information, you can always write to service@thermomix.ca and have that information corrected. Now, if the shipping address is different than the billing address, which is often the case because people do buy Thermomixes for others, there will be an automatic delay up to 48 business hours because our office will hold the order until they have confirmed with the customer that they've actually made the purchase to be sent to another address. What else do I need to know? So much more. UPS will not deliver to a post office box, as I mentioned earlier. They actually need an address. UPS will drop at the customer door, whether they're home or not. So for me, I always advise my customers as soon as they get the tracking number to contact UPS. They're excellent to work with. Set up an account with them and provide arrangements for their own delivery. And the last important best practice is to always have your customer purchase on their own devices we've talked about. And I have found that a desktop computer is always the easiest. Now let's take a look at your own eShop back office. Here's my name, and here's where it says sign in. I'm going to now sign in to my back office on my eShop. I use the same login and the same password that I use when I'm entering the consultant lounge. This can be confusing for some people, but the orders here are my personal orders. Now, our consultant orders, when I want to check my consultant orders, it's under consultant data in my back office. So I've selected consultant data, and I will get these tabs appear right under the title, My Consultant Data. Once again, here's my consultant URL and link in my eShop, just like it is in my consultant lounge. I want to select order details. The order details are where I can now check to see if the order that I just made appears in my back office. Oftentimes, it will appear immediately in the back office. Also, we've already talked about the fact that orders can be placed on hold, and it can take up to 48 hours for that order to be released and appear in your back office. It's very important that you check your back office on a regular basis and make sure that within 48 hours, all of your orders that are there should be there, or you need to email service@thermomix.ca with all of the pertinent information to make sure that your order is accredited to you. Hopefully all of that is helpful for you. Probably many of you have already placed a first order, but what's now really fun is let's get started placing those first orders.